Okay, Scout salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Two. Okay, Scout oath. On honor, I will do my best, do my duty to guide my country, to obey Scout law, help other people at all times, keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Scout law, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. I will do my best, be clean in my outdoor manners, be careful with fire, be considerate outdoors, and be conservation-minded. 2, I don't even have to tell you what's next. You guys are all set for it. It's great. On the rolling slides, we had everybody, but if we are in need of volunteers, we're not in need of a finance chair. I forgot to change that slide. Clay Roberts is our new finance chair. District membership support, that position is still open. We do need that. Thank you, Tammy, for all your time and service. And Tim Davies is our acting district activities planning chair, but he's been acting since he stepped down. So we really need somebody to relieve this poor man of all the work he's done. Tonight's agenda, we have a couple leader breakout is unit service projects, correct? Yes. Okay. Order of the Arrow is here. That will remain in this room. So thank you guys for being here. And I did remember to wear my sash. The Big Rock is going to be a little bit more than just a regular Big Rock.
Do safety moments in your units. Well, you know, how many of you folks do that at work? Good. Well, you know, I love that picture. That cutie is just putting on her safety goggles. She's getting ready to do something really cool. That's what scouting's about. That's next slide. So, why on earth do we have safety moments? We're going to talk a bit about the who, what, where, when, how, and why of safety moments. Who should do them? Scouts. This is something that all scouts should be able to do. And really, it's part of a communication element of things that they can do that will earn them some stuff as their scouts. As cubbies, they can do some really cool stuff too. And it gets them out there and in front of doing things. Of course, if they don't want to do it and they're shy, no. But leaders can do it, and subject matter experts. That's SMEs in short. What should it be? Age appropriate. It should be relevant to what you're doing, and it should be safety related, following the scouting rules and principles that are out there. Where should you do them? At meetings, events, activities. When? Usually at the start of the meeting. Kind of gets everybody together and, you know, a light, informal moment. Not a safety talk by the chief safety officer. Just something easygoing. How should you do it? Like I said, informal, short, engaging, perhaps humorous. Now, what could that be? Like, for instance, a Cub Scout could say, you know, if they're going on a winter hike, watch out where the Huskies go. Don't you eat that yellow snow. Or if you're taking a hike, watch where you're walking so you don't trip into a hole or step into something like horse pucky. Little kids are like that. Now, older scouts, maybe it would be something a little more appropriate for them. Like they talk, you know, just be careful when you're walking. Use a hiking stick. That's always really good. Something short, 1 minute in length. And I know I've already exceeded that. Why are we doing this? It's creating a safety culture. Just like the Scout oath, law, and outdoor code, it becomes second nature. If you put safety first, you will always be thinking about it. Now, sometimes we'll always have accidents, but at least you'll be aware and alert of it, and that's really where we all start. Now, what sort of resources could you use for this? The website, Scouting Safety, that includes things like safety moments. Also, there's links on there to the Guide to Safe Scouting. As a unit member, you may need to do, you always have to do YPT. That's a very important safety element of things in Scouts. Takes you an hour to do, but it's the primary key to safety here and keeping our youth safe. Other things, climb on safely. With water sports, you got safe swim defense, safety afloat. Shooting sports, that's sort of a separate type of one that's done in person, but it's all important to do. First aid, CPR, which we do with our Emergency Services Corps. Weather, hazardous weather, driving. Now, every month, Brad over here, and we have a little hosts an event where we have a couple hours worth of safety type related meetings. Always good. We have first aid, CPR, AED sometimes, wilderness first aid we have an opportunity to do. Last month we did mental health first aid, or resources for it, but which is what? Weather, excellent. So, with that, that's my safety moment for the month. I encourage every unit out there to have the Scouts do a safety moment. Thank you.
Okay. So we have some upcoming things. Look on the calendar, the Google Calendar. You can get it off the website. It's pretty cool. It's updated, and Jared keep us informed. So the Silver Beavers have been announced. Thank you. So from our district are myself and Kathy, and I want to give a special shout out to Andy Rao, because Andy also does stuff in our district quite a bit. So he's pretty cool. Mel does a lot at NYLT. So everybody on this list, I'm just very pleased to be part of it. And also there's another award that's going to be named, and I didn't care. I put it up here. Johnny Cardova is going to be the John R. Coleman Outstanding Commissioner Award. That's something that Greater Colorado Council does, and it's really an awesome award. He does so much for our district. So he's not here tonight, but you see him, give him a pat on the back, and he'll just. Okay, we have the Cub Scout Pinewood Derby coming up. It's Saturday, April 12th. Are there any flyers over there? No? Okay, but it's only $5. And these will be up later. Steve, you mentioned that there's a railroading merit badge?
Yes.
Okay, that's going to be in April?
April 6th, or 5th and 6th.
Okay, so so this is for Cub Scouts, and that's for Boy Scouts, or Scouts BSA.
Okay. At the District Derby, any PACs who are interested in using this as a recruiting event, we will have cars for adoption. So if you want to recruit friends, bring them along, they can choose a car that was designed by one of our scouts, race it in the race, and see what happens. So.
Very cool. You better hold on to that. Okay. College of Commissioner of Science, it's this weekend. It's right here. And right now, registration, I believe, is closed. Since 2 days away. This is your reminder if you're in the room and signed up. Okay, so special training sessions coming up. Next weekend, Wilderness with 2 eyes. Good, Wayne. Wilderness first aid. So we got our eyes on you to do it. So We really, what? With the wilderness, yes, yes. So we have that coming up. March 5th is weather safety. Like he said, that's coming up. So that will be up at the council office. And then, okay, yep. And then there's going to be a boating safety instructing training course. I don't have the dates on that, but that, April 5th?
Navigation class.
Okay.
Or boating safety class. U.S. Coast Guard boating safety class is now required for anyone 16 to 18 that wants to operate a boat with a motor here in Colorado. So,
Okay. Watercraft.
how about that? So, your 16 to 18-year-olds, there is a flyer over there under the ESC banner on this boating safety class. This is put on by the Coast Guard.
Okay, thank you. And I think the next one's for you, Jared. No, it's not. Oh, I left that in there. Okay. This one's for you. So we have a Scout Day coming up, and we want to get kids interested in Cub Scouts. So Jared came up with a brilliant idea.
So one of the dads in my unit is a real big advocate for BMX biking, and he set up a day for us at a local community-owned BMX track. It's like 10 minutes from here. We went out as a unit and had an absolute blast. The kids loved it. They really loved the fact that we got to introduce it to the Scouts. The Scouts had a great time learning about BMX. And so we talked with them, and we've coordinated 2 days in May where it's free for any Scout who wants to attend. We're going to have lots of bikes there to borrow. So it's basically bring a helmet, bring closed-toed shoes and long pants, and come out and ride as long as you want on the official BMX track. There should be some experts there who will help teach everybody about it and make sure that everybody knows what BMX is about. It is a phenomenal recruiting opportunity. This is a great thing to bring a friend. It is open to Cubs and Scouts BSA. So whoever wants to come out, get them out there, make it a unit event, make it a recruiting event, whatever you want. We've got the whole track for 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on May 3rd and May 10th. I've also posted this into the Cub Scout Discord. Feel free to use this graphic, share it around, give it to your families, have them share it around. We want to turn this into a big recruiting event for the spring. So anybody who's interested in finding out more about scouting can come out here, do some fun stuff, meet some Scout troops. So open to everybody. It should be a great time.
And you have a question?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah, so Wayne was asking, Greg was asking about how to get to the track because it is kind of in a weird spot. So you kind of have to filter your way through a parking lot to get into the track. What we'll probably do is just set up some signs so people know where they're going because it is a little tough to find for sure. But yeah, we'll just make sure that we set that up for everybody. So everybody can find out where they're going. There's lots of parking, so we're not going to be worried about capacity or anything like that.
Jared, don't go anywhere. We also are talking about doing a red carpet. We're going to do this at the Big Rock, but since Jared's up here right now, one of the questions we have is we are looking at doing a red carpet event in the spring for Scouts, and we want to gauge the interest right now. So,
yeah. So the idea is when Webelos visit troops in September, there's usually not a whole lot of fun, cool outdoor events happening in October, November that the Cubs may be able to participate in. So the thought that we had was if we move the visit new troops event into April or May. That then opens up the entire summer of troop activities for these Webelos, Rising AOLs, to then visit troops and have opportunity to do lots of cool stuff over the course of the summer. So that was the idea, and we just wanted to see if that was something, for one, that we thought Cub Scout packs would be interested in. Do you think your scouts, your older scouts who are looking at troops would be interested in meeting them earlier in the year so that they could participate through the summer? And then for troops, do you think your troops would be interested in having Cubs meet them earlier so they can invite them to things through the summer, maybe make stronger connections with some of those Cubs looking for a troop? So just interested in a yay or nay. Can I get, for a yay, can I get raising of hands? Who's up for a spring red carpet? Both is an option. So yeah, it looks like we got quite a bit of support for that. We can discuss more details. One of the other questions was whether we do it as a roundtable evening, kind of like what we do in the fall. Another option was to make it more like an open house event on like a Saturday morning, have like a 3 or 4 hour window where people can sort of come and go as they please. If they have a game or something that gives them more of a window to maybe get out when they may not be able to on a Thursday night with a narrower window. And then the other idea too was to sort of turn that into invite your prospective Cub Scouts out to visit packs to see, we pitch it to the community, say, hey, come out, find a good pack. We pitch it to the community for the troops. I know the spring push for finding new Scouts BSA members who are not currently in Cub Scout packs is also a big thing that we're trying to do for the spring. So we could also set up a Pinewood Derby track, set up one of the backyard fishing things, just have a bunch of cool, fun stuff out there, make it available for everybody. Say, hey, Cubs, if you want to come visit a troop, come visit a troop. If you're interested in scouting, come out and do this whole thing. So can I get a yay or nay on whether we think that sounds fun? Yay, raise of hands.
Okay, we're going to have to ferret it all out, but if you have input, we want to know.
Yeah, so that's what we wanted to check out, is just see if it was even worth exploring more. Seems like it is. So thank you all.
Thank you. Okay, that takes one of the Big Rock things away. Cub Scout Day camp is coming. It's June 4th through 6th. Do we have a location? I forget. We'll know in a couple days. It will be here next month. Okay. So we have some outdoor trainings coming up. I think these are all correct, Randy. But Baloo, that's for Cub Scout leaders. Everybody needs a trained leader. And Isles is assistant Scoutmaster and Scoutmaster training, basically. And if you want to be in the troop, it's good to take these courses. Okay, May courses are in Double Knot. There are, whatever the calendar is going to be. I think we're going away from Double Knot. Okay, so the spring wood badge, which is adult training, that's beyond the Isles and Baloo. That's in March and April, so we're getting close to knowing if we have a course. I think we do. So that's the one in spring. That's Toby Williams. If you have any questions, that's his email. And then if you can't make the spring, we have the fall course. So that will be Leanne Grubb. She'll be running it. She actually got her Silver Beaver last year. So that, just want to have that there for you. Order of the Arrow. Schedule your meetings. We're going to be talking about this tonight, so we don't have to spend a lot of time on this right now. But there'll be more information coming up. DE, we're going to do the roundtable, the Big Rock in a second. So Evie will hold off. Next roundtable, it's spring recruiting for Jarrett, and then every scout deserves a trained leader, kind of what you just saw. So we'll be discussing that. And then Greg will be talking about online resources in our Big Rock. And then we have Big Rock and beyond. So we are going to start with Aquatics. And just this one, and I'll let you introduce yourself because I'm going to mess up your last name.
No problem. Good evening, Black Feather District. My name is Russ Narnburn. I am with Troop 873 out of Highlands Ranch. I'm an assistant scout master within that troop. I'm also the aquatics coordinator within our troop. However, I'm also an active member of the Council Aquatics Committee as a volunteer. And that's why I'm here to speak to you, is I want to make sure that you're aware of the resources that you have available to you to get your units out on the water with unit-led trips. I'm not going to read through this. A little bit of my background is I'm born and raised in Indiana. My troop was known as the River Rats. We owned our own canoes, our own boats. We did a lake trip and a river trip every single year. When I came to Colorado, got my 2 sons, joined in a troop, and I was a little disappointed to find out that the norm for most troops in Colorado is that their paddlecraft experience was at summer camp. And and I kind of wrapped my head around it, and it kind of dawned on me that the biggest problem is equipment. Right? It doesn't make sense for troops to own a set of canoes that they use maybe once a year and to pay for all of that and to pay for storage, et cetera. And so that's kind of the problem that we're solving. We're lighting the fire into this initiative we started last year, and kind of the foundation of that I want to make sure adult leaders are aware of is aquatic supervision training. So this year we're offering 2 different sessions. It's a 2-day course. It gets you the swimming and water rescue certification and the paddlecraft safety certification. These are highly recommended for any troop that's going to go out on the water, in addition to going to the northern tier. So our first session is coming up in 2 weeks, March the 1st and 2nd. It's up north. 1 day is in Broomfield, 1 day is in Brighton. Cost is like $30. You will be in the water a lot, so plan on that if you can go. The second opportunity for that is June the 7th and 8th at Peaceful Valley, so the weekend right before summer camp. Also, in terms of, assets that are available, we have 2 outfitted canoe trailers that are available for units to use, right? So that's awesome. So if you want to go to Wellington Lake, you want to go to Chatfield, et cetera, you want to go out of state on a river trip, Ruby Horse Thief in Utah, you can do that. But you need to have these certifications. You need to know what you're doing from a safety perspective. This is our enablement journey. So we lit the fire last year. Last year in these aquatic supervision class, we had 1 class, and there were 3 students. I was one of them, and that was for my renewal. My son was number 2, right? And so this year we have an ambitious goal. We want to get 18 students across those 2 sessions. Right now we have 6 people signed up for March 1st and 2nd. We would like to have more. Also, we're going to be outfitting more canoe trailers. We're going to have more events. And the other part is from an operations standpoint, we need to get our ducks in a row, right? We need to do a better job. We just had our first flyer come out. It has some hyperlinks with all these different events. We would very much like to get a page on the council website so you can see, what we're offering, what we have available to units, our calendar, et cetera. And then also outing templates. So for troops that are going to go on a river trip or they're going to go to Wellington, et cetera, we can have outing templates that are more of a rinse and repeat, built in with emergency response and action plans, et cetera. So you're not rebuilding the wheel every time. You're taking the wheel and you're modifying it. This is on our flyer. These are all the different events. Some of these we've already talked about. I'm not going to go through them. I have printouts of this flyer available if you're interested in these or if you want to sign up for any of these events. We also have American Canoe Association classes. We have this 3-day course, which is really geared towards scouts. That's at Soda Lake. And then also for anyone that wants to become an official canoeing merit badge counselor through American Canoeing Association, we have this 3-day training course at Camp Alexander that's down here. And then we're also going to have some other events out on Chatfield Reservoir. Sorry, I'm talking really fast. All right, this is my last slide, your call to action. So if you can identify 1 or 2 adult leaders within your troop to get these aquatic certifications, get them trainings, that'll get you enabled to get your units out on the water. And plan your aquatics adventures slowly. Start with lakes, right? Our troop has not yet gone out on the river. We're probably going to do it this year. But work your way up to that. And then also consider becoming a merit badge counselor for your unit, for your gear. You really need to have some of your own PFDs or life jackets. You'll also want to create your own buddy board, right? You'll start to learn more about this as you go through that class. And then also, if this is something that you're passionate about, you want to leave behind a legacy for the scouting community of Colorado, and you want to dump some money into one of these trailers, talk to me, because we need to outfit them. We want to make sure that they're fully outfitted with paddle boxes, PFDs, paddles, throwables, et cetera, et cetera. And we want to make sure that they're capable of going out of the state and coming back safely. So we're upgrading axles, wheels, tires, et cetera. That is a wrap. Thank you.
That was quick. I make everybody work fast, I'll tell you. I took out all the pictures of the canoes and stuff, so sorry, but they were right there. Evie, you're on. So right now we're looking, we have some things coming up, and our DE is going to talk to them. I'll give you this. Just come on up. So we're going to talk about camp cards. We're going to talk about some of the stuff we just talked about with Jared. So Evie's got a few minutes for us. I don't have any slides.
Perfect. Can you all hear me out of this? Is this how I use this thing? Okay, great. Hi, everybody. If you don't know me, I'm Evie. Wonderful night. God, I love this. This is perfect. I'm sitting down because I injured my foot this last week because it's been a long year. Does it feel like it's been a long year to everybody so far? Well, too bad, because it's about to be an even longer one, but it's going to be fun. We have a lot of fun things coming up in the district right now in the council. Number one right now is camp cards. If your unit didn't sign up for camp cards, I'm so sorry. It's a little late to get on the bus, but if your unit has sold them before, or you have a couple individuals who are saying, hey, I'd really like to sell camp cards for whatever reason that scout needs to try to earn their way. That is what we believe in teaching scouts. It's right there in our handbook. Please reach out to myself or Asher. We will try to help you get some cards for an individual or your unit if you just couldn't get scheduled for them in time. I do believe we have 4 distinct camp cards this year as a council, covering very different parts of the council geographically to make sure that the ads on the cards apply to where you live. This is something new that we're really trying out, trying to push that many out there. If it's successful, we're hoping to do more of it this year. Please give us as much feedback as you can on it. If you are selling camp cards, how they're going for you, if there are things that are working, things that are not working. That way we can take this and try to make it better for everybody next year. Our next big one on it that I wanted to touch that we had on there with it was the Baloo training. I know this last year during fall recruitment, we made an offer as a district to any pack out there that gets a brand new leader that wants to hop in and be trained, that we as a district would find a way to reimburse them for being trained at Baloo. We will extend that through this year. So packs, if you are having a hard time getting leaders and getting them trained as a barrier, if that's all it is the cost, reach out to me. We will find a way to get them paid back. As volunteers, we're the ones who make this run. You guys make this run. And if the cost of being able to go to training is the barrier, then let's find a way to remove that to make sure that your unit can have as many trained leaders as possible, because that's what the kids deserve. Yeah. Our next big one for us is IC presentations. Who's already got their IC presentation on the calendar for this year? Awesome. I love that. That's great. Excellent question, Wayne. I didn't know either. A lot of other councils call it FOS, Friends of Scouting. In this council, we don't call it that. We call it Investment in Character. That is our campaign where we ask you as volunteers and parents, usually at a Blue and Gold or a Court of Honor, if they would be willing to make a donation to help continue our scholarship funds. Not every council, but the majority of councils out there now have a program fee. The program fee can be all the way up to what Nationals fee is each year. So essentially making your cost of being a scout twice what it is. Our board, thankfully here, doesn't believe we should ever have a program fee. So in lieu of us having a program fee, we do investment character presentations at a unit level. The majority of the funds raised from that go to our scholarship fund to help pay for kids and families who can't afford to join scouting to join, help pay for the scholarship fund for camp for those same kids, and help with our scholarships for uniforms fund that we have out there. Really important things as a scout who survived because of people who make those donations. I truly believe in it personally, or I wouldn't have had the experience I had that led to me being here today. So if you have haven't got those scheduled with your unit, please reach out to Asher or myself. I know we've been calling all units on it. I know last year we've had some feedback that some of the presentations haven't gone great. So this year we are personally invested, making sure they go great for everybody, getting them on the calendar, and making sure all presenters are trained. No presentation will take more than 10 minutes. If it does, Scoutmaster or Cubmaster, I will buy you breakfast. Y'all know I love Waffle House, so let's go. Okay, all right, I know I'm a big spender, let me tell you. Yeah, and then spring recruitment is huge. For all the troops out there, I know I probably sounded like I've been beating a dead horse for the last year, but we are starting to get a lot more phone calls in from troops saying, hey, we need kids. Where are we gonna get the kids? The reality of what we're seeing across the nation right now is what we call the 4-year slump professionally. COVID did a massive number on scouting, but especially on the PAC level. There are some districts and some councils across the country right now that do not have a single arrow of light. We're lucky we don't have that. But what also happened in COVID is we lost relationships between troops and PACs, which has been felt. Black Feather District has been awesome at trying to rebuild those, and that's entirely thanks to you guys as volunteers making sure that happens. But the reality is if you don't have a feeder pack that you can guarantee those kids are coming to your unit, and if you don't have your Den Chief program going to guarantee that you've built that relationship with that pack to your troop, you cannot guarantee you are going to have kids come into your troop this fall. And if you don't constantly have new kids coming into your troop, that means you also don't constantly have new leadership coming in. And if you don't have new kids and you don't have new leadership, what happens to a unit? It dies. So trying to recruit kids who have never been in Scouts and getting them to come in and join the program is essential to our survival for the next few years. We are not making it a required thing this year for troops. However, I am highly encouraging troops to consider it. And if it's something you're wanting to do, please get with us. We will help give you any resources we can, give you ideas on how to make it better. I drove down to Monument the other week, and we sat down and came up with 4 ways they can have non-uniformed friend activities this spring, for the youth to try to recruit their friends to join in scouting. Some that they did last year have been very successful. Those are usually the best way to do it. Let the youth recruit the kids. I am 33. I don't know anything about being a freshman in high school. Do you? Greg, do you know anything about being a freshman in high school? Kyle, what about you? Yep. What about you? Exactly. But you know who does? Scouts. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Our youth are going to be so much better if we listen to them at helping come up with ideas to recruit their friends that any of us ever will. I shoot myself first with this bullet. We're old. We don't have it anymore, but they do. So work with your youth, listen to your youths, ask them what would help recruit their friends in their schools to join in scouting and invite them to come to fun events for it. That's where we see the most success. It's really important, and if that's something your unit wants to do or something you think you need to do for your survival, please call me, please call Asher. I know my email signature for some reason for a while has said emergency contact on my Texas area code cell phone number. It's not emergencies. I prefer you call or text that number, just not at 2 in the morning, unless it's a literal emergency. Yeah. Outside that, does anybody have any questions for a DE before I get off this stool and hand this back to Wayne? Fantastic, great. You all have my number. I thank you all for having me up here tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. We're going to break up now. Cubs are catty-cornered down the hall. Scouts BSA, the order of the arrow is going to stay in here. Also, if you have not signed in the attendance sheets, please do so now as you get a chance. So that is it. About 5 minutes, and we'll start everything up. Okay, you guys have seen me enough tonight. I'd like to introduce our Order of the Arrow and what chapter? We're Gray Wolf. Gray Wolf chapter. My mind just went blank. So could you guys come on up, introduce yourselves? Who's going to be the lead person? Here you go.
Thank you.
Just put that right there. You're all set. And I think you guys can, that is ready. And guess what? I have a clicker. Ooh. Cool. There you go.
Hello, I'm Alexander Farrar. I'm the chapter chief of Gray Wolf chapter.
I'm Carden Singer, and I'm the vice chief of Gray Wolf chapter.
And I'm Ryan Oshman. I'm the former chapter chief of Gray Wolf chapter.
Okay, so what is the Order of the Arrow? The Order of the Arrow is Scouting's National Honor Society. The OA consists of scouts and scouters who best exemplify the scout oath and law in their daily lives. The OA can help strengthen units by providing leadership training and opportunities for OA members and by assisting in summer camp promotion, camporees, training, and other activities.
The Black Feather District is represented by the Gray Wolf chapter. The chapter meets monthly, usually the second weekend of Wednesday, for all OA members in the district. Where the chapter advisor is an adult position, the chapter is run by the youth elected chapter chief, along with 4 vice chief positions. Greater Colorado Council is represented by Tohosa Lodge. The National Order of the Arrow Conference, also known as NOAC, is held every 3 years, and the next one will be held 2027.
Where was it last? It was right here in CU Boulder.
It's very fun. What the OA does for Scouts. Scouts who actively participate in the OA further develop their leadership skills. The Scout is more likely to actively participate with their troop or team for a longer period of time if they're active in the OA. There is a nationally recognized leadership position for rank advancement, the OA Troop Representative. The OA Representative acts as a liaison between the unit and the OA Lodge or chapter and communicates future program opportunities. The Order of the Arrow helps to operate the 4 high adventure programs: Philmont Scout Ranch, Northern Tier, Florida Sea Base, and Summit Bechtel Reserve. These programs are open to youth airmen at a discounted rate. For example, the OA Trail Crew Trek at Philmont in 2025 is a 14-day adventure. The first week focuses on trail construction and maintenance, while the second week is a 7-day trek designed by the participants. The cost of this experience is $495 versus $1,335 for a 7-day trek.
To be eligible for elections, you have to be a registered member in Scouting BSA. You have to be under the age of 21. You have to hold the position first class for Scouts, Venturing Discovery Award for crews, and Ordinary for ships. You have to have 15 nights of camping within 2 years. You have to have 15 nights must include one, but no more than one long-term camp consisting of at least 5 consecutive nights. The balance of the camping, 10 nights, must be overnight, weekend, or other short-term camps of at most 3 nights each. Ship nights may be counted as well. Approved by the Scoutmaster, Crew Advisor, or Sea Scout Skipper. Be elected by the youth members of the unit, and election requires 50% plus attendance based on the unit's active registered youth, and the Scout must receive 50% of ballots turned in to be elected into the OA. Adults 21 or older who meet the camping requirements may be selected following nomination to and approval by the Lodge Adult Selection Committee. A unit can nominate 1 adult for the first youth elected. The number increases 75% of youth elected. 2 to 3 youth equals 2 adults. 4 youth equals 3 adults, etc. Scoutmaster, Crew Advisor, or Sea Scout Skipper may be nominated and not count towards these numbers, but still must meet the camping night requirements.
OA unit elections. The OA Tohosa Lodge elections for 2025 are conducted from February 1st to May 31st. Please note, first ordeal is the 5-2 to 5-4, 2025. So election will need to be held prior to the 18th of April. Longer to guarantee processing of paperwork in order to attend. Adult nomination forms may take longer as they need additional approvals. We strongly encourage OA members within the unit to assist with the election, but ballots and votes may only be handled by OA youth members from outside the unit. February 1st, an email went out to the key 3 of every unit. This has a link to submit a request for 3 potential election dates. We are a large district that holds a lot of elections and try not to do 2 in any evening, so please plan accordingly as April tends to fill up. Once your date has been confirmed, you will receive another email with a link to submit a list of eligible scouts in order to build a ballot. Please submit your eligible scouts 48 hours or more prior to your election. The OA election team must provide pre-printed ballots, and inability to submit eligible scouts on time may result in the election being postponed to another meeting. As soon as the election is completed, the OA members will provide the unit leader with the results and then will announce to the troop. Please note, you may do your own call-out or special ceremony, but the results must be announced to all the evening of the election.
The Order of the Arrow is a service organized under this BSA Scout organization. Our focus can be summarized in 2 words: cheerfulness and service. We are always willing to help any unit, council, and community. OA is an additional resource to support the BSA. Utilizing the OA will lead to a win-win situation between the individual, the unit, the district, and the council. Email to schedule your elections.
Any questions?
Not a question, but I want to point out for the leaders in the room. It's a great program for kids that they Eagle and Sorry, thank you. For the leaders in the room, if you have scouts that have eagled or are older and looking for something to do, this is a great program. They can continue it through part of college. We've had kids from the council that were the lodge chiefs that were like up at Fort Collins, and they do all sorts of leadership stuff. So it's a great way to keep the kids engaged that might have kind of reached the apex of their scouting career within a troop.
Also, just another little quick thing to touch up on is that instead of Scouts BSA going, or I guess Scouting America, that goes to 18, this goes until 21 that a youth can participate and hold leadership position. And shipping crew, yeah.
Any other questions? Yes, there is one in...
The first weekend in August. So we hold 2 a year, so 1 in May, 1 in August. Once you are elected, you have 18 months. So essentially you'll have both this year and then both next year as well. And all emails should have gone out to the key 3. So if you're an OA rep, unfortunately we don't have it.
If you're an OA rep, we don't unfortunately have that information, so talk to a key 3. If that has changed this year, we try to get the updated list from council, but the updates come through slow, so perhaps reach out to a predecessor. And if not, I don't know if we want to go back to the other slide, my email is on there. All of that information comes to me, so you can also see me at the end of the meeting.
Yes, question over there.
Yes.
Yes. Microphone. Oh yeah.
For those that may not be familiar with the Order of the Arrow, the ordeal sounds like it may be a challenge. To the extent you can you describe what that entails? And maybe that it's not hazing.
So while some of the amazing things about the OA is that there is some wonder about you going to your ordeal without knowing what's going to happen. And while there are absolutely zero secret organizations in scouting, that's kind of the idea behind it, is that it's not secret. I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. But like, it's cool that you might not know what's going to be happening. Now, there is going to be absolutely no hazing. And if that is something that your scout is concerned about going into this, and that's the reason why you're holding, or why they're holding back from going into OA, come have a talk with these guys or any member of the OA, because again, there's no secret organizations. We're more than happy to have a conversation with you about what's going to happen to make you feel more comfortable. Does that answer your question? The adults will need to talk to Mr. Heppy here, from the best of my knowledge.
The adults will receive information the night of the election. You are able to get, is it 2/3 of adults are allowed to be nominated per scout. So basically for the first scout, you get 1 adult. For the next 2 to 3 scouts, you can have a total of 2 adults. The troop is able to nominate them. Like, you will have a form. You will have to submit information, kind of a reference letter of how you believe that they will help scouting and the Order of the Arrow, and those can be submitted and approved by council. And then that's how you can then be on the docket to do your ordeal and then become a member of the Order of the Arrow. And to also go with the order, the ordeal, to kind of elaborate on Ryan's answer in the question. Right, history used to be, it was all private society, worry about hazing. The reason there's the secrecy, if you will, is because part of the ordeal is telling a story. It's about a journey of who the Order of the Arrow is, and it's going to help prepare you for life and make you a stronger leader. So we want a little elusiveness in it so we don't fill in all the blanks, if you will. But they are very safe. What we can tell you is they're going to go there. You're going to be fed just a little bit, just enough to sustain. You're going to do service. That is what scouts do. And you're going to learn upon that journey. You're going to learn about who you are, who you should become, and who the Order of the Arrow is. And you will camp under the stars. And so we will tell you that, to be prepared, bring a tarp. It is Colorado.
A quick question for youth that are now adult leaders. Does that membership carry over? Do they have to be re-elected? And if they do they have to re-ordeal? How does that work?
You are still a member of the Order. There is a form. You can either see me. I don't have any here tonight, but I can get it to you. It is also on our website at tahosalodge.org. And all you need to do is submit that, pay your dues for the current year, and you're up and running. We ask for the information that you have for what rank, what level you made it as a youth, and that will carry forward. Good question.
Any other questions?
Okay.
Is there more slide?
We've started to get a couple units that have registered for their election. I hope that every unit has. If not, please let me know. Reach out. If you don't have any youth that are eligible, then just let us know so that way I might stop harassing you. But even if that is the case, invite us out. We would love to come meet your troop. We would love to tell your troop about who the OA is, because maybe you don't have someone that is eligible this year, but maybe there is still a youth that doesn't know about the Order of the Arrow. And by us being able to tell them about who we are and what we do, it might just inspire them. And one of the neatest things, as Greg had pointed out early, there's a lot of things that bring strength within a troop, right? And I will tell you, between NYLT and Order of the Arrow, if you have a strength within your scouts of a troop between NYLT and Order of the Arrow, we have seen that you are going to have a much stronger and sustainable program. They're going to bring that leadership back to your scouts. They're going to help. They're going to stay in longer, and they're going to motivate the younger scouts. So if you don't have someone today, please invite them out to come tell their story.
Good job, Cody.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate that. I just realized that, oh, no, the Luxes are still here. There they are. Okay. So anyway, thank you. We really do appreciate everybody has all their questions answered. Most of you, as I look around the room, who's not part of the OA? You're part of the OA, aren't you? Yeah. Just Mitchell, you'll get there. I want to personally say thank you to Mitchell, because Mitchell is the reason that we can broadcast all this. And yes?
Since we're bragging on Mitchell, I'd just like to point out that he just received the Unit Leader Award of Merit.
Unit Leader Award of Merit went to Mitchell. Awesome. Yeah, that's good. So, and we also need to thank you for the fact that we're even here. So thank you. With that, did you have any? Here you go. Here you go.
As most of us are members of the Order of the Arrow, there has been a slight delay in getting information out for dues this year. The budget was approved this week, so they are processing the paperwork. So I'm told any day now there will be an email going out to everyone that the portal is open to please go out there. And please, as we always support here, investment in character, everything, support scouting. Whether you are active or not, which we would love to have you active in the order, please support us by paying the dues. It does help grow. It helps us get better. They did not go up. It will remain at $25 this year.
$25. Cool.
Okay. If you don't get the link, if you don't know where, please reach out to me. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. And we have another chapter chief that was in my wood badge, Pericles. I just sent in his paperwork for wood badge. So he's going to be beaten. So I'm so excited. I was his troop guide. Okay, with that, we are finished. And we would like to have a benediction. Is John still around? He's out in the hall. Well, we can do it. You going to help me? Yeah. Yeah, yep. Why don't we do it? Oh, are we? Let me see if I can do it from memory. May the great Scoutmaster be with you, of all scouts, with you and guide you until we meet again. Now we'll say it together. And we'll remember the part that I forgot. So 1, 2, 3. May the great Scoutmaster of all scouts be with us and guide us until we meet again. Good night, Scouts. Thank you.
Not hard to find trash. So you just, go find, not hard to find trash. So you just, go find somewhere. The thing that we've done that has worked really well for us is when we've tried to do like a trail cleanup, we usually do, we've got a couple that we adopt.